Okay, this is the Norwich Cemetery Commission meeting on October 24th starting at 4:02. And members present, Bonnie Mundy, Ellen Terry, Fred Smith as a guest, Dan Goulet, and Scooter Hardy. And just a couple things on the agenda. Let's see, let me hand out this stuff. So this is just the agenda. And there you go. I don't know why you don't have an agenda, but this is just so there are four things handed out: the agenda, the draft annual report, just so we can look at it to see what we don't want to put in, what needs to be included. The commission's latest version of our rules and regs that we left off of from the last meeting, and then Tom Hardy's comments, which are extensive, which are valuable, but we need to see what works for us and what doesn't. So
who's Tom Hardy again?
he's the he came to give us the input about green burials.
Oh,
And he is a mortician and he's been working
Nights? No.
no,
Hey,
he- yeah.
was Richard Land. Right, and I saw him at the service the other night
right here's
and asked him if it would be okay if we called him.
okay.
And when you still are going to,
Yeah.
Oh, that's the bottom there. Okay.
Well, I think she may have pretty much covered it on the news the other night.
What service did you go to?
Kenny Smith,
Oh.
Oh.
your parents did it.
Hey, he's only a year older than me.
No.
I'm not well either.
Three items on the agenda. One, talking about the dead elm on Fairview. And then we'll talk about New Boston Cemetery and then other business, which Fred, thank you for being here because that's one of the main topics, but I didn't know if you'd be here, so it was just kind of an open other business right now. Removal of the elm tree on Fairview. I think we've all seen it. It is dangerous. It needs to come down. Scooter, looks like that the company said anywhere between, what was the quote?
32 to 4,000.
Because
One
it's,
company.
yeah, because it needs a crane and I mean, it's
Oh,
pretty
he-
expensive.
That's what he has for quote.
Okay.
I guess it doesn't need it.
Oh, okay.
The other guy that we use.
Peter Blake?
Peter Blake. We can ask him. I think it may be a little
It's
Too
not-
too much. It's
Because he
pretty
does, he
expensive.
does have a bucket, yeah.
But he's kind of a one-man band.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is gonna
It
take
still,
long.
would it still be worth getting a second estimate, just?
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And who's the guy from Lebanon? we use?
Tracy
Tracy
Burns.
Burns.
Yeah. He'd do it for approximately half the price of the first guy.
Okay.
He has no big equipment. I mean, he's got a bucket truck and some men that work for him, but
Will he
But-
chip it up?
pardon?
Will it be chipped up or cut or?
Yeah,
does that
I think
make
as
it-
long as it's
Will be removed.
removed.
Yeah.
And
I thought we approved Tracy last time.
for the New Boston.
Okay.
Yeah, that's who so that's the next item.
Okay.
Make sure that anyway, so Tracy said he can do it for 15, 16.
Well, it depends how many men he needs as far as sidewalk people and, you know, that ain't gonna be an easy one.
Mm-mm.
And we have no, at least I don't have any way of talking to the highway department.
Yeah, they would do it in.
They probably don't have the manpower to
Yeah.
even give road guards, but
Well, in my way of looking at it, it's kind of the town's problem also.
it definitely will be if it falls and goes into to the sidewalk and the road,
Or hurt somebody.
God forbid.
Would we have any liability if that happened?
Hard to say outside of a court of law.
Or the law, you know.
The cemetery is the town, so it's the same liability insurance.
Right.
Okay.
It's good to know.
So we're covered.
Yeah, well, we don't want anyone to get hurt.
Thank you.
No, because that someone might be me or you.
Won't be me, because I'm gonna stand under it.
I got hold of Old City Tree,
Okay,
and his words to me were, it's gonna be at least a couple grand, and I really don't wanna do stuff like that. He's used to
Okay.
just dropping trees,
yeah, out in the woods,
but at least a couple grand,
okay.
he said.
So then that 15, 16 sounds like a good quote.
No, I didn't say that.
Wow. You said
Estimate.
depending upon how many
Estimate.
men.
Yeah, I said approximately half,
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, it's-
2,000
So it
bucks,
could be
2,200. It depends, you know, how much help you can get.
Sure. What was the first company that you asked?
Oh, geez, I mean,
Sorry, no, it's fine. I'll just, when you-
I can tell you when I get home.
that's fine.
He was very good. He came right up. Mailed a certificate of insurance, and that's something we gotta get from Tracy.
Yeah.
For
we
sure.
do.
And just make sure he knows that we would love to hire him, but we cannot pay him until we have the proof of insurance and then get a W-9.
Even 3,200 to take that down is not.
They should have a W-9.
Yeah.
He worked for me.
Okay,
You what, Fred?
Tracy, the town has a W-9 on it. He's worked for me before here.
It may be expired.
W-9's gone.
Oh,
Insurance.
the certificate of insurance.
Yeah, you just
is
get him to email it to somebody, they can email you.
I don't have any.
So you might do that in your
Yeah.
phone.
sure.
So I'm curious, this has nothing, well, this has something to do with, I'm just curious, is the tree dead because of the ash borer?
That's
That's ash.
That's-
This is
That's-
an elm,
Oh, okay. Well,
it's an elm tree.
It's an elm, that's, yeah. good.
Um,
Okay, so obviously not ash.
So if we do vote Tracy Burns,
Yeah.
obviously because he's willing and he's approximately half the cost.
Yeah.
He's definitely less than the first company.
Yeah,
Would he be able to do it this fall?
Yeah.
Okay,
I thought he said something to me about, but no, he tried to fit it in around the 1st of November.
so next Friday.
Might be longer, but I'll call him.
Okay.
All right with you, Dan?
That's just fine with me. I wouldn't touch it for 5 grand.
What about 10?
Nah.
Good.
Cut it down for that.
Yeah, probably hit a tree or drop or something.
Oh, I would.
Guaranteed.
So knowing the proximity of pedestrian traffic, I think that that takes the priority over, right, we know that New Boston has to happen. But the question is, do we have the funds right now to pay for both this fall? And if we do, that's great. If we don't, do we go ahead with the elm tree at Fairview and then table the New Boston until next spring?
I think the elm is probably more dangerous. But
Gets more traffic too.
Tracy wasn't that high for Beaver Meadow either.
I think it was 30, 36 for New Boston.
So we're talking 5,600, 6,000,
Then
It should be
again,
$50,000, isn't it?
50?
Between the CDs and the checkbook. You guys ain't spent
Yeah,
that much.
the checkbook, I haven't gotten the most recent bank statement. And I'm not calling fault to anybody, it could be me as well, because I haven't been very much. We probably had close to 60 in there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, right up there with them CDs.
Yeah, I've gotten those.
Would be enough to cover 6.
there's some changes on that New Boston too.
Okay.
I can't even get hold of the person that owns the land next to it.
Okay,
And then I think Fred and I were talking. He said something about liability on the septic system.
yeah, we don't want. And the only way to approach the ones on New Boston is through this person's property and potentially.
No,
Oh, okay,
you can come through Ernie Parker's trailer lot. Uh, but it-
Travis still live there?
No, not there.
He doesn't really need to go in there, though, the cook place, does he? You get that cherry, can he go
I-
up the cherry side?
Chair.
You know, on the cook side, you got a cherry tag.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
Oh,
We're just a cemetery. And I tried to talk to him about that because it should come before this one.
Mm.
But they're so busy. He don't wanna really commit himself,
and this is Tracy,
Tracy.
okay,
So, and now we're playing with the weather. You know, and if it gets wet up there,
no, then you can't.
can't do it this year. Be nice if we could, but
So what's the overall limitation of, if we say yes, there's enough money, let's go ahead for the elm tree on Fairview, and then after that, the New Boston Road? What is the limitation that Tracy would be facing in order to access those trees?
there's only one way in now. And
Okay.
that's through that trailer there.
And
right
it-
away there, no problem.
Okay, so that we don't have to get permission from anybody?
Nope.
Okay,
It's Ernie Parker trailer,
Yeah, really internet.
yeah, and they rent it out.
okay,
It's, and the cemetery is very flat. You know,
Mm.
but if it gets wet.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
okay. Um. Were you able to find the bank statement?
No, I mean, I have some, if I have any over here, I can do look on them.
Okay.
Once she comes in.
And there's no set amount. Nobody would commit to like $3,000 or 4,000. Because both of the deals have changed now, because New Boston, I guess we're not gonna come across the back of her yard.
Okay,
You know, she got a tar driveway,
okay,
and that's very flat too.
Mhm.
But we don't know where the pipes are or where anything is. So everything's gotta go in.
so it may be more expensive to have to go in.
Well, he's gotta have to work harder to take down what we want over by that house.
Oh, there's people with stones over that way.
Okay,
Like it's over.
got it.
So neither are set prices.
But just an approximate 3,600 for New Boston.
Yeah.
Okay. It could be more, probably
Could be
not
less.
less.
He's pretty good,
Okay.
you know.
Yeah, he didn't charge much for that tree there that came down that thunderstorm.
Okay.
No, and he was right there.
He did it for me the next day.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. Where is he out of?
Slept.
Westlet. So, good, local.
He has that bucket on tracks now instead of the truck, so that'd be good with cemetery.
Is that his or Wagner's?
He bought one, I think Wagner's is green, his red.
Oh, yeah. They're quite a machine. Take you right up 100 feet.
no, thank you.
If I went up 10, that's good.
Well, it's hard to prove if we don't know how much. It's 4:15, 4:17. Should we table until Judy gets in?
Or do you wanna just pick an amount to go up to? We can approve an amount up to.
No, let me see if Judy can find the bank statement.
Okay.
That's good.
But then you find
Or do you want-
I can run over there and get it.
I have Judy's.
Well, I should too.
You know, I love, here, you change this picture. 10 minutes later, they still haven't found the pictures.
You love that.
I just tell
Do you
everybody,
want me to call
just
Judy?
show me a picture on the
Yeah.
phone. I don't wanna see it. I don't care if
Because
it's a
maybe
naked
I
lady.
just
I
thought
don't
about
wanna see it.
it.
So you gotta talk to her.
No, it's just me expressing an opinion.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Oh, should I call
Yeah, and just.
the, what is it, 14, 13?
14, 19.
19.
For extension.
She's so good at what she does.
I'm sorry, the extension? 104.
Just punch it in.
Hey, Judy. Hey, it's Emily. How are you? Good. Are you able to sneak away? Awesome. And when you come, are you able to bring the cemetery bank statements,
Please.
please?
Okay.
I'm so sorry. Dan's yakking in my ear. What's that? Perfect. That'll work. Lovely. Okay. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon. Okay. Bye-bye. She's on her way. Until then, let's not waste. Fred, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. I guess the big question is, what is your plan? What would you like to do?
Well, let's keep doing burials,
Okay.
then keep moving all the millions and small
Okay.
cemeteries.
So you can be the person to contact if people need a burial or not, or
Burial.
you're,
Just
or just to say, just physically, you're gonna do the burials.
No, they can call, I'd rather they call me, let
Great.
them work with Kathy
Okay,
handling the phone side of it.
so, because right now it's still on the town website, call Fred Smith. Okay, so we can keep that
For the burial,
for the burials.
you people handle everything else.
And what does that mean? Tell me what that means. Selling of lots? Okay,
Complaints,
sure.
inquiries,
I wanna hear.
So question. What else?
because I was getting 2, 3 calls a day, till July 4th. Every day.
God bless you.
Some of them
Valid
were
complaints?
burials, some of them were burials.
Okay.
Just a lot of on this natural burial stuff.
And headstones.
Big.
People just mad at me.
They're taking it out on the person.
Yeah.
What about headstones? Should I
You
call
guys-
Richard for that? Okay.
I think one of you people should do it.
I wouldn't.
You don't get into that when you're not in charge. You hear that all the time now. Where I never.
I wouldn't know how to begin to dig for a foundation.
You don't have to do it. You just gotta make sure the mining company do it the way you want them. Yeah, no, there's nothing saying you guys gotta do foundations. I did them just so I didn't have to argue with monument companies. It's terrible.
You gotta go down to a beat.
They wanna cut corners
Mm.
and they wanna do it now. They call you at noon, say, we're on our way, meet us. I'm like, I'm there at the phone. If a retired person wanted to do that, then she could.
How many,
There's more than one of us here.
on average, how many burials happen a year?
Burials,
Yeah, like 20?
25.
Okay.
And that's
There's
close
quite a
to the
few.
winter time. So that's like-
Yeah, most of it's in the spring.
They're usually a big staff.
Literally. Yeah.
But the monuments. Done 20 foundations this year.
So what then, when we do a deed, we should ask them the monument company that they're using?
Well,
So
I myself,
we-
I start talking to some of them. Start giving them the right ideas, so they don't bring their own up so quick.
Do you
Because the
have,
monument companies tend to say,
Oh,
stone, you
yeah.
don't need a foundation, you don't need this, because they want people to spend all their money on the stone.
Right.
What,
Do need a fa- I mean,
Yeah.
it's some kind of, something to. anchor.
Yeah, there ought to be some sort of
It might be in
written
your
guideline.
rules.
Why
Should
we,
be.
why we have Freddie, he could tell us the steps.
that's what absolutely, because I'm completely unknowing about this.
And then when they want to register or talk to somebody about passing, whoever it is just hands them the paper and says,
Well, that
Right.
was gonna be done when you sell lots eventually. You get
We'll
these
have
done.
to, we'll ask them if they pre-plan a headstone or what, who's gonna provide the stone.
Cause I tell them then, you need concrete.
Right.
Hopefully, when they go to the monument company, they
And then,
will disagree with the monument company. But they never wanna call me, they said, 'cause I'll never answer a phone, so.
Okay, so there's an example in terms of, there may be a hiatus between the sale of, a lot,
Mhm.
whatever. And, you know, I mean, if I purchase something today, I hope to be around for a couple more years. So I wouldn't know what to put or to designate, as to what monument company.
A lot of
It might
wait
be-
years, yeah.
You know,
Well, when they sell the lot, you should have something saying, this is what we insist on.
Or maybe send it with a deed.
Send it
Yeah.
with the deed.
Yeah, that's what we're
It's-
gonna do.
so,
hand that
yeah,
right
just have
through.
a, have a
Okay.
guideline to go, but, to have to designate which monument company, I
We
don't
wouldn't
think
know.
that's
No, you
possible.
can't do
No,
that.
no.
You know, we wouldn't
Okay,
do
so I
that.
misunderstood then.
You have to have it and just say we strictly adhere to these principles. That stones must have a foundation of at least 4 foot deep. And if it's not, then you're gonna have to pay them to do it again.
Because they gotta be square, that's the big
Do
thing.
you really go 4 feet deep for the headstone?
That's standard.
Because there's so many
That's
up,
frost one.
there's so many up there that are leaning, is because they only went 2 feet.
Right.
Because you go down a couple feet, it's hard,
Mhm.
and people just quit, 'cause it's too hard to go in.
Mhm.
So they tend to do this.
Yeah.
Right.
And then
That's
the
a
frost
worse
gets
thing,
up.
that's a worse thing.
And
you could do.
actually, when we were doing the cemetery restorations, they said how important it was for it to be packed down
Yeah.
and level.
okay, so let's go, can
That's
we,
why I inspect before I let them pour.
Okay.
They hate that, they wanna dig it, pour it, deep.
Right.
so you're not responsible for digging the foundation. It's the,
I do it as a courtesy.
okay, so it's the monument, the people that are placing the monument there are supposed to have the foundation.
They typically,
Okay,
sometimes families, but as long as they follow the rules, I
Mhm.
don't care if the family. No
Okay.
one really wanted to do it unless I told them how much. It's not that much money, they.
Yeah, but if you ever dug 4 foot deep hole,
By hand.
you would pay anybody. I ain't digging no 4 foot hole for anybody.
Especially in hard pan. Union Village isn't so bad, there's no hard pan,
Mhm.
Right.
but the inside,
That's just a lot.
takes them all day usually, if they dig it by hand.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It'd take me 3 days.
and typically it's done by like excavator with like a small
I
screed.
use
Okay,
Right.
most.
okay, we're definitely gonna have to get these steps down and then, so that we can say in writing, sign this, you need to understand this, and so, yes, when someone buys a lot, it may be 5, 10, 25 years before someone's buried there. What about when someone just has a relative that passed and they're ready to, do we bring that back up again, saying, hey, just so you know, when you talk to the monument company, they're responsible for,
That should be handed out right away.
okay. So there should be another, when you buy the lot and then when you're
Yeah.
planning to,
Especially when you make the transaction, Fred would quite often meet up with people there to pay for it, write the 2 separate checks. I think it's at that point we should hand out
Mhm.
the headstone requirement. I'm gonna tell you though, that the amount of calls we get, including you, back in 1938, my parents bought a cemetery lot.
Mhm.
So, you know, there are those long-standing lots where they're not gonna have.
I'd say
Sure.
more than half
Yeah,
are old lots.
But still, when someone's about to be buried, it's
Yes.
at that time again to remind the family, hey, when you do, here's all the requirements for the burial.
now maybe we can supply that to Knight's Funeral Home with her.
Just so they know what the Norwich,
The land board way,
Rules are,
so
okay.
that.
That's a good idea.
it-
How many lots are sold but not filled?
Quite a few.
Quite a few, because you know, it might
And they're
be,
not filled because people haven't died yet.
right, but it might be good to just send out a note or whatever to every unfilled lot, like, hey, this is the rules we have now.
You never
You
find out
can't, you're not gonna
who
know
the
who
heir
it
is.
is.
Oh. Never.
I think it's at a
No.
time of burial that you need to remind people before anything
Yeah.
happens, just.
Because usually at that time, people are all boogie because somebody died.
Well,
They-
that's
they don't
why
of
wanna
I'm
course.
hear
saying
it
hand
from
it
the
to
family.
the funeral home,
Right,
because they help walk through that whole process.
right, and we'll let them handle it. That
Or
would
at
be the
least-
best way to do it.
They would have what's needed. Rick,
Okay.
that would be.
Would it be a good idea or not? Also give some guidelines to the local mining companies?
No,
No, they
because
won't
that
listen.
will be mistaken as a recommendation.
Got it.
Brad, are you saying that you'd like to dig all the holes, take care of it still?
Just the burials. Not the foundation.
Okay, better specify that.
Because you don't wanna deal with people that are putting it in.
That and this hurt.
Oh, yeah.
So the title of sexton. That's,
Gonna be vacant.
okay,
Some cemeteries require cemetery to do the foundation.
Mm.
Like if you had a full-time caretaker, then you could do that.
Mhm.
But it's not practical now. It just was easier for me, because I had sometimes had more time in it babysitting them
Mm.
than if I did it myself.
Mhm.
It was
Yeah.
terrible. One guy threw out, just, I can't get out. And that was an internet. It was a lady sold on the internet. She just hired some guy somewhere down the street. You know, here's $200 for the foundation.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I threw her out of the cemetery too. If I could, but I did.
Good for
Um,
you. You gotta set these boundaries.
You gotta be tough. I don't know
Yeah.
if you guys wanna be tough or not. Because people push.
How do you push until you break?
Plants, the same thing, planting. That's what they want.
um,
I don't know if you have a rule on, we had one time, no metal objects,
mhm.
I think that's probably still on.
but the stuff just,
It
years, I
just
used to pick it up.
materializes.
I don't anymore, it's not. I don't get holiday.
Something about the size of bushes that can be
It's-
planted, that I mean, there was something in the last.
Go
handout.
into a cemetery at some point where they have bushes and trees. And just look around and see how much they hide, how much they grow underground and can disturb things underground. And how dirty,
Dirty,
they're dirty.
but the sign up there says no plants,
Mhm.
but yet you get them.
Mhm.
Yeah, because that pertains to everybody but me. That's all.
So I was lenient,
Sure.
to just tell people, well, plant something small and it can be pruned.
Okay. As long as
And
it
then they
doesn't
ask
disturb,
Suggestions
yeah.
sometimes, and I give them some, so that I can go in every fall like I do and chop everything back.
would you be willing to stay on as sexton as your role now till November, until
Well, I'm
the
gonna- yeah,
cemeteries?
yeah.
Okay, okay. Sounds good. What other things do we need to know about what you do, because you do so much and you
Well, I-
don't, like, we need to know so that we can,
I
so
go
that we
through
can
the
either.
cemeteries, through all of them once a week,
Mhm.
hillside more, just because I'm
Sure.
not there so much. So that you can see things when people bring things in they shouldn't, you
Mhm.
spot them right off, because it looks out of place.
Sure.
And then you know them, I call them and tell them. I even delivered some to a few people. Because one year they had these benches from Kmart.
Oh.
I don't know, well, if they see one, everybody buys one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every day I go up, there'd be one or two.
Mhm.
I'd stop. Just- I pick up dead flowers when they go by.
Mhm.
That's just going through the cemetery.
So when you say end of season, the end of November, end of December, or?
When it snows, or snows
Hey,
and
Judy,
ice.
come join us.
We don't have a specific date.
Got it.
You're a jail?
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, and
If
After
we,
storms, I used to go through every
Not
cemetery
letting
and
that
look for
one miss
damage.
anyway, huh?
yeah. If, there's no way anyone can fill your shoes, but if we find somebody that can do all of these jobs that you have been doing, would you be willing to meet with them to kind of go over the things to look out for and the thing, everything that you've been doing? Would you be willing to meet with somebody if we are ever able to find somebody like that? If we can't pick up the slack that you've done and we are able to
Well,
find
Rich,
somebody.
I talked to Rich about it. He does that type of thing, if you pay him for it.
Okay,
But again, we get back to your point there. He has no authority.
sure,
People fight him.
yeah,
And then Rich is a nice guy.
Mhm.
So he tends to let people push him.
okay.
Susan was talking about that, one of my people.
Mhm.
She's not like me, I'm just exactly.
Currently through, September 30th, we have 44,000 in relief in the bottom.
And we're current on SNS and Fred, like all of our outstanding
Well,
bills.
we have a water bill and we'll have, um,
You get my bill the other day.
you know, but I've got to go to the mail. Yeah, no,
Oh, 4,200
okay.
for 3 months.
We're gonna have an SNS for October mowing.
Okay.
And then we'll get November cleanup.
Okay.
And, we have the water bill here,
Which is like $130.
$90.
You don't wanna disconnect that if you're never gonna fix it.
I know, that's,
I thought it was disconnected.
no, it's turned off. It's not disconnected, because if you disconnect it, then,
6 feet of pipe.
I-
Yep.
that's another, that's for the next time, but it needs.
And that's 300 a year.
Um,
What would it cost to dig it up?
Hand shovel, it goes in.
How deep is it?
Couple feet,
I think do we do six stone?
Oh, that's gone.
Pay $300 not to dig it up.
we'll talk about that next time. So all in all, we have the funds.
how are we? Like what Fred does, 4 feet down.
Mhm.
How are we gonna know for sure they're doing that? Take a picture?
That's what I inspected before I let them pour.
Yeah,
So
One
somebody's
guy-
gonna have to be there.
One guy one night took a picture of me, for me. 'Cause
Yeah.
He was the one I threw out,
Uh-huh.
cause he was 3-4 hours there and he couldn't get very far, but he put his tape in there and took a picture of it
Uh-huh.
with his pen.
Okay.
oh,
So I drove right up, stuck my hand in his cement. It was only 2 inches below the cement, what he had in there. So he was trying to deceive me,
Mhm.
and that didn't go over too good.
Really? You can't imagine
So
that, Fred.
he kind of got thrown out. He wasted 8 bags of cement. Very upset.
I'll do it right.
He did come back, I'll give him that. He come back a week later and he said, I'm gonna do it right for you.
Okay.
He says, this is my last
you know, you're gonna do it right for yourself, the way you're supposed to do it to begin with.
what you got paid for.
And for the respect of the person that you're bearing.
There's another one that does dry foundations. He pours the cement in as he goes dry and packs it. Don't let that happen.
no,
There's a bench up there and he did. This guy, it's got the air and whatever. It's just terrible. It's all washing away.
Yeah, they get that new cement and you do that, and it's supposed to,
You got, there's not enough water in the ground
Right.
to hydrate the cement.
right.
sorry,
Who wants to be in charge of the shed?
what's in the shed?
Lawnmowers.
Who maintains the lawnmowers?
Nobody, since we don't use them.
Who has, do you have the key to it? Is there a key?
I'm gonna change the lock when I get
Okay.
it done.
Yeah, we need a whole debrief once you're all done of,
I changed the lock 3 times over the years because
okay,
things disappear.
Who's got keys?
That's why I changed the lock. And then all of a sudden stuff gets disappearing.
What other things get stored in the shed?
My stuff, but I get it out, get it out.
So how come there's more than one key?
The last for over the years. The way back, it was hung on a tree, so who knows?
Oh,
And it
okay.
got then. But even after that, it happened.
Oh, must be your friends, friends. That will be.
Who's,
Well, somebody on the cemetery.
who's gonna
commission,
call Fred
They give it to someone else.
when there's a person that passed away?
we're gonna have to figure all that out.
Funeral home.
Yeah.
Okay, we better write that in there.
Yep,
What about when they call the office?
Judy can also say that Fred digs the grave.
okay,
But is Fred taking calls?
For the graves.
For the
yes.
grave.
for the
dig.
grave.
just for the graves.
Not for the footings.
Yeah, you know, home, take care of the footing.
It'll be inspected, picture taken.
I wouldn't trust the picture.
What would you do?
We're gonna have to be there.
Okay.
Let's go up.
Whatever.
Who's gonna be the person to go up?
We're gonna have to figure that out.
It
I'm
may
sorry,
be
I'm
more-
trying to
No, 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 no,
catch
no,
up.
no, this is
it
all
could be
needs to be
more than one of
discussed.
us.
Well, we
It
can
could
rotate,
be,
you know, depending.
Whoever's here, whoever has the time.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
could be, you know. I can get that for them.
Because you have to find the spot for these people and mark it.
Yeah.
And if it's a flat marker, you can't just put a stake up there and I put survey a tape on it with the person's name. Go up.
You have to
But you,
measure
I
it out.
actually take the slot out.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they may put it on that side of the stake where it should be on this side of the stake.
Oh.
Right.
You have to think for these people.
Well, that, you don't know. I do the same thing.
Well, I'd look down the road and see it should be on this
Yeah,
side.
I know. But people ain't smart enough and they're special and I'm gonna do it the way I wanna do it. They don't like where you put it.
I make them go back and move it, and they're really mad.
Well, you can't get anybody mad at.
Oh.
All of these questions, and we need a clear
Okay, so I need to be educated,
line.
Fred, in terms of the monument. I know there are, I may be wrong about this, but I don't think everybody puts up a monument immediately. It's like they wait a little while.
Most of them, a lot of them wait.
So does the knowing that there is going to be a monument there, would the foundation be poured after burial or when the, when the actual monument's gonna be set?
When it's set.
Okay.
'Cause
That's
you
a
don't
good
know what
question.
Size it is.
Some people predetermine, they'll put their date of birth and things like that. And then after they pass, they'll have the monument company come up and carve in the rest.
Yeah, my stone. Here,
You're still here.
Mhm.
I didn't have to argue with, I do now.
No, there definitely has to be a certain protocol of how we move ahead, and we will get right on that, but,
And adhere to.
Yep.
Nobody's special.
it's up to you. It's up to you, Dan. But again, Fred, start thinking about like everything that you have done, that you don't even think you've done, but like put it down there because we need to know so that we can help fill in.
Your lawn guy gonna mow the edges up the hillside.
I don't know.
Did a little at Union Village, and it was, what, sticky weed fence, Yeah. But if he doesn't, I'll have to, it's gotta be done.
Mhm.
The more it gets more woody, more long you wait.
Well, we're gonna be taking, estimates over the winter, so we can put that in.
Yeah, I used to make my contractor do it 2 or 3 times a year, that way the
Yeah.
weed whacker, you can do it with weed whacker.
Yep.
Rather than like it's a topic. that you
So we
change
can
on.
put that in
Yeah.
the
Requirements, yeah,
RFP,
sure.
Yeah, that's what I
however
used
we
to,
want to do.
presidents, I used to have them do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I gotta go around the edge of the field. Still, I did by the road, I haven't gone up that left side.
As far as acting Fred, everything he does is sexton. He can't tell you.
I know, that's what,
More than the stuff.
exactly.
Yeah,
So,
sexton here. And I can't tell you all the things I do here.
but it is important to document it so that if we do find another person, we can be like, this is your job requirement. And then if we can't, we need to know so that we can step up and.
His Kathy was sexton, she didn't. It's so blocked.
I think that's how they thought was required.
Freddie, the chairman in this town, the chairman, has done most of the sexton stuff, really.
Mm.
They handle the lawn guys and all
Yep.
that stuff.
Right. You can just finish the job description as into whatever needs to be done. But pretty much that's it, because there's something different gonna come up
Yeah.
out of nowhere.
Yep.
Somebody's gotta do it.
It should be a very basic, least basic job.
Do it,
description.
basically.
I
You
mean,
never
we have
finish
that,
that.
yeah. That'll be good. Well, Fred, thank you for everything and above and beyond that you've done for the cemeteries in this town. And especially fielding all those horrible calls that were, I'm sorry that you had to deal with that. That's not fun for anyone, but, thank you for everything. It's huge.
Thanks.
Can't tell you.
For a long time. You're done.
It takes all I can take, and I can't take no more. What he's somebody saying.
Fred, everybody that's gonna be in there, do they all have to have the corner markers?
All new lots, do it.
And would that be something that you would ask Rich to do, or would you put in?
I can still put them in,
Okay,
but you guys can order them, 'cause
okay.
sometimes that can be a hassle. Like Rich does them for me and he just puts it off, so.
Which one is Rich?
Landry, bald headed one, well, nice bald too, but
Oh, yeah, down the nights.
The dark haired one.
But he's bald.
yeah.
On top.
Wait,
He's not, oh, yeah.
The boy or
like
the
you.
old man?
Like you, only less hair on
He's the
that
oldest one down there.
spot.
He doesn't- he is-
Awesome. Well, we are,
If people
Meeting
call
possibly.
about, I do, like I sell quite a few cornerstones to full lots.
Okay.
But I buy them myself,
okay,
but if people call.
Yep.
And I clean stones.
okay,
A lot of them for families,
okay.
so I'm still willing to do that.
Mhm.
I can do that in convenience, so
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay.
So is somebody gonna buy a lock set for that shed?
Sure. But when does that need to be done?
When I quit, I'll change it.
Okay, you let us know and buy a lock set. I'll probably just have,
The last 3 I bought myself, so I'll
okay,
take that one out, take it home.
Yep.
yeah,
yep, for sure.
If it's too much hassle, reimbursements, but I never bother.
I hear you.
Got a lot. No, it's a lot, so. That'll be a good job, you do.
yeah, I put in $100 for him.
I just
Awesome.
I don't wanna have people say I have a key to the building. I don't wanna change it.
I say, if you can't trust you, you can trust,
Who-
you know?
I've been down this road before, so
I trust you more than anybody.
In the same vein of the the shed up at Hillside, are there keys for the
Game.
No, not even gate. Well, that too. Who locks the gate? You lock the gate? So we'll have to get that. Or just him. Okay.
So like,
Are there,
if it's gonna snow or ice, like what?
Yeah.
Lock it.
Yeah.
But last year, I often open it up again if it melts.
sure.
You guys can pick a date if you want it, but I just, that way people can say, use it, I have a problem.
Yeah, no, I think the way that we've done it is okay.
Mhm.
Because
don't
we're
know.
not hard bound if we say, didn't we have November 2nd or 15th as a hard cutoff date?
A lot of them do, but sometimes snows before that.
Exactly, so it doesn't commit us.
Yeah.
You know, when the snow flies in the cemetery.
And in the spring, I used to open it when the blacktop bared off,
Yeah.
but then people would drive on the dirt road, which doesn't melt.
Yeah.
It's icy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I used to rope it off.
Yeah.
But people would either tear it down or they'd drag over the graves and go around it. Put those back up. And I caught one lady one day and scolded her, and husband even told her to shut up. Boy, what a look on her face. So then I just locked the bottom one and I said until the mud dries up, the
Yeah.
ice is gone.
No, that's
You don't
smart.
get any of it.
Well, you don't want, people don't need to get stuck or slide off into a
Oh,
headstone.
it really does stuff. Yeah, there's no stuff there for that.
Oopsie. Is the, under Fairview, you know, like I think where the old,
Oh,
yeah. Are there keys to that? Where are the keys?
no.
Okay. Sometime I want to see that. I think we should take a field trip and see that.
Usually we have to put a lock on it, they have to cut it off.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Rusty.
Yeah.
Wind shot,
Yeah.
weather shot.
I think that would be,
So I've got a question.
Yeah.
Not to, but I'm interested in following into that. Can you get that now that we know how much money is in? You wanna come back to?
Yeah.
The tree removal, and do you wanna spend it if the method is available?
yes. Last, but do you have any more last minute things that we need to know about
Good night.
before we start?
there's some clapboards coming off the Hearst house, and I put them back on.
Okay, okay.
I just keep the weather out.
Is there anything in that? It's just empty. It's just a little historic building that we made.
And then hillside brush growing along the chain link fence between the old and new part,
Okay,
could cut that back. And so we can be weed whacked back
okay,
in the future.
okay.
I'll do that this fall too.
Excellent.
And then the hearse is on hold with the Starbucks.
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really neat. We should,
It's on loan, no, that's the
Yeah.
key
I
one.
didn't,
Ah.
wouldn't go along with giving it to him.
No.
oh, okay. That's good to know.
it's on.
Jay was second.
My dad,
Just give it to him.
well, he moved out of town, so he doesn't have a say.
No, but if they're a town historical society, I wouldn't mind,
Yeah.
but they're private. But I didn't want them to be able to sell it 50 years from now for money for something else.
Yeah,
So I have a signed agreement.
okay.
Director at that time, I think was Sarah back then.
It still is, and she
And then
would.
she left and came back,
Oh, did she? I don't know.
and then the president at that time, Nancy.
Osgood?
Hodgson.
Oh, Hogs, oh, different.
So it just, you know, that needs to be kept alive here.
Yeah, that's good to know. I
That
didn't
is
know
wrong.
that. Okay.
They were gonna put a sign, did they ever? Put
I
a
don't
sign in
know.
front of it?
I
That
don't know.
was
I haven't
one of
seen it
my
in a long time.
requirements.
I'll talk with Sarah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's no problem. Awesome. Again, Fred, thank you. Above and beyond in every way. Thank you.
Yeah.
Amazing. Do you not feel like you need to stay? You're welcome to stay. We're just talking more about the tree removal and then,
You know, I
Yeah, I'm going down tomorrow.
should have texted you.
You're right, it would have put a fire under me. But right now, it's a bonfire to get me out of that. Oh. I've just been doing.
awesome. Thanks, Fred.
Yeah, you can go ahead, I might think of something else I should say.
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. Ellen, let's go back to number 1. We have 41. We're probably obligated for no more than 12 to finish up the fall. Is that a fair estimate?
I think that's.
Okay, that's meaning we have enough to pay for the elm tree at Fairview and the tree removal approximation of 36 for New Boston.
Yeah, we can. I just get scared when the account gets that. I've been used to seeing
Sure.
high dollar amounts in the checking account.
Do
So,
we, is there any CDs? in
yeah,
there?
we have two
Oh, okay.
CDs.
So it's not all,
How much is in the checking account?
44.
And then there's two CDs on top of that.
They can give me-
You have 44,000, and we're gonna spend 6. So that brings it down. to
Well, but we
38.
already are obligated to pay for SNS for the rest of the fall, and Fred has a bill, and then the bits and bobs. Okay.
okay, so my 2 cents,
Yep.
just in terms of how things have happened in my life in general, when I get an estimate.
Mhm.
If I wait long enough, price is gonna go up. So,
What
you
I'm
know,
concerned, I think it's easy, it would be more cost effective to get these trees now before they already fall and potentially
yeah,
cause more
absolutely.
damage. That's my 2 cents. So if we have the money and Tracy's willing to do both jobs,
If you can get to New Boston.
sure.
Okay, we have 13,000 in the 12-month CD, almost 14.
Did we get Woodworth this year?
We did, we won't see another check from them until around the first of the year, I think, maybe a little bit later.
Get 2 interest ones.
One in
Yeah.
And
June.
then you get a one, occasionally a third one.
Yeah, if there's
Right.
extra.
We get a $10,000 deposit. And then we get an interest deposit in June.
Yeah.
Usually one.
I thought there might be, yeah. And then in the smaller CD, we have 5,400.
You get 62,000.
I know we're gonna have more tree removal next year. With Union Village that needs.
The brush behind it.
The brush behind it.
I
stuff
wonder
like that.
if I should go up and see them again.
See who?
The only way to the back of it is to drive into where the old slaughterhouse was, I guess. And park there.
Okay,
And if we're gonna have more than one person, which we will,
Mhm.
give us a price.
Yep.
We're gonna have to park there.
Where was the old slaughterhouse?
Oh, it's still there.
Where is that?
Union Village, you,
Remember where Beatty lived?
The only remember I have a Fahey was one, if it's the same, you're thinking Peter Fahey?
10 years ago,
No, I don't remember.
you know, Prince,
Yes,
next house on the right, across the road, that old barn.
okay, okay.
looks like an old shed. It's very weathered and
Mhm.
rickety.
Couldn't take down a piece of chain link fence, a lot of them go in that way, you have to the cemetery.
If I have to. But I'm hoping not. I'd like them to go right up the outside of our cemetery. I've already spoke to Ruth is one of my friends, and I can't, John McKinnon's wife. It's her, Ann,
And Philip,
yeah. And she said, you do anything you want.
Oh, that's good.
Mr. Huggy.
Oh,
Okay.
she likes me.
So she owns down
Everybody
towards the
likes it.
slaughterhouse and on
What?
that side of the fence too. Or just behind it.
Right down next to our fence. So it's about 200 something feet up the straightaway. And she said, you know, and I found all the pins finally.
Oh, good.
And I'm hoping to get somebody in there with a machine
Mhm.
that'll grind them up. Or cut them.
Yeah. Okay.
I gotta go back and talk to them again
Okay, so that should be a priority for next
for
spring.
next
Okay.
year.
Well,
I mean, should I go forward with that?
it can't hurt to start talking about to the neighbors about what we need to have happen next year. Say, you know, somebody needs to come in, we need to look at this, would it be possible to use a property if we can't access through our own property? I mean, it's always good to know our neighbors and talk, but,
So we also have to discuss what we want to raise for the town warning, and we have to get signatures for petition.
can we talk about that right after? I mean,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I am willing to say, move to fund the requirement to remove the dead elm at Fairview Cemetery with Tracy Burns. There's.
I'm all for it.
Okay. Any discussion? All those in favor for paying approximately 2,000
Mhm.
to remove the dead elm at Fairview, say aye.
Aye. You name them.
You-
You may come in a little higher.
And that's fine. I
That's
think it's
that's
better to take it down now than have to
Yeah,
deal with the
Definitely
repercussion.
has to come down.
And we've already approved Tracy to take those trees down at New Boston, and I say we just continue to go ahead
Yeah.
if he can get in there and let us know if there's any problems. But it's,
They're a separate vote.
no, we've already approved it. But he hasn't done it yet, and
Okay.
we kind of said, hey, hold off, let's see if the elm tree is a priority, let's see if that is voted on to remove. So do you mind reaching out to Tracy and saying both of those cemeteries, those trees? But before he does it, he has to have insurance, and he has to send his insurance to us, and I'll give you my,
We could send it to Ashley. If I do,
Us.
as long as you got, they got any.
Yeah.
That's how the insurance.
I'll give you my email, and then you
Okay.
can give it to him. Okay, the other business, Fred, thank you for being here, for discussing everything that you do, and then please continue to think of what else you do so that we know.
In the spring, when I open the cemeteries, I go around and immediately pick up all the brush.
Okay.
I see this year you paid that guy to do it again in May.
Mhm.
You don't vote me to do it.
Okay.
So if he's gonna do it,
Well,
I
you
might
want
do
to-
it.
Okay,
But the trouble with him waiting till mid-May is people call us.
okay,
I do it as soon as I open the gate, I
Okay.
start doing it.
Yeah.
He does it with spring cleanup is what he does.
I just, you know,
Okay.
they don't need it.
Yeah.
Anything I don't pick up, the lawnmower grinds up.
okay.
So I,
Yeah, it has a way of doing that, doesn't it?
yeah, $500 for that.
Okay. Yeah, the town appropriations is coming due. Right now, we always ask for 20 grand. Last year, we chose to keep it at 20 grand.
Right.
If we increase it, we're gonna have to get signatures at 175,
I
200.
wouldn't call that. I don't think
How many do you
checklist
think?
is on that much.
176 right now.
So I guess my question is, do we want to increase, and if so, how much? And knowing if we get voted down, we don't get any. That's my only concern.
I think a lot of it will be in the presentation, but yes, I think we have to increase. We've been at 20,000 for 10 years.
Yeah, close.
That's all that has to be stated, is that this has been our budget for 10 years. Everybody knows nothing stays the same price for 10 years.
You don't think we'll get pushback with an increase of property tax?
I'd say that.
That's what, I'm just worried about the,
The thing is we're facing a few more crises than we have in the past. We're up against trees that are failing, that need to be removed.
Mhm.
Lawn care that we took for granted for a long time on our lawn care. bill. And I think as time goes on, you know, the trees are only gonna continue to age out.
Mhm.
And I think we have to increase.
By how much?
Well, up until this immediate conversation, I was gonna say 10 grand.
So
That's a
30
lot.
total.
Or I would have to
So
do
maybe we'll have it to 25.
What?
Or do you think 23? I mean, how much are you?
Well, if you project out, you know, if things don't change again for another 10 years, even 5. You figure out, just in terms of presenting it to whomever has to approve it. You know, say really, it only amounts to X amount per year. You know, we haven't made any changes in the last 10 years. And hopefully we won't have to make any more changes, but right now there's an immediate, I don't know if you want to use the word crisis, but you know, there are things, especially with you mentioned the Emerald Ash for
I would rather say aging.
aging, yeah, okay, but there's definitely, there are reasons to increase now, that's all.
And like the blacktop up at
Yeah.
Hillside, you were
That could be a
mentioning.
separate article.
Okay.
Okay,
This is what we did last time.
oh, okay.
We did the rest of it.
That would be better probably to make it specific, okay.
Fred, what would your recommended be on this increase? How much?
We started getting 9,200. 98. Then we went to 12. So let's see, 98 is 26 years. I'd look back at the date though when we went to 20. Not guess at 10.
Yeah.
Because Cheryl or somebody.
Oh, yeah, they're gonna research that.
Then we went, I think we went right from 12 to 20.
That's a lot. Wow.
That may have been. We were getting 20 when we had prisoners.
Mhm.
I think we were.
I think maybe a way to sell it
But that's
also
why I
is,
think we got so much money in the checkbook. I wasn't spending the 20.
Yeah.
Right.
Cheryl used to get after me. Because she wanted to take it all and put it in trustee money.
oh,
And I refused.
Yeah.
He's just another layer.
Yeah.
You gotta fight with to get the money.
exactly.
Watch that too.
I mean, what we can look at is how much we've spent on tree removal and,
How much
Already.
Do you keep a record of how much this charges you a year?
I think we're gonna have to sit down, Emily and I, and just take a morning and go through all of the invoices. We had talked about putting that stuff on the
Yep.
spreadsheet anyways.
'Cause I used to do the financials and town report, and I noticed you guys don't.
no,
Did Cheryl, meet with Cheryl and get?
we did. It should be pretty
Oh,
basic.
this-
It's not
I
that
used
hard.
to keep track myself, so. that-
Right, and
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have everything in that
Yeah,
notebook.
it's not many bills.
So I think to chart it out would be our best case scenario. You know, we can go from 21, 22, 23 and just show what our.
My
expenses-
contract was 20,000 a year for 4 years,
Mhm.
and he did all 7. Now we're split, but
Mhm.
if you can see what he was charging for 3, mine's probably pretty much the same for the whole 3. I'd say, rough.
And we can always use the extra money. I mean, we have what, 13 cemeteries?
11,
Lawn, and we could use some of that maybe for the ones that we're not gonna really do much to. You know, like, Meeting House Hill or something, have it
We
ready.
cut all the trees out of that some years ago.
Well, not just trees, but maybe paint the fence,
or repair the fence.
or repair something in these.
Yeah.
'Cause, you know, you just get further behind. No?
Yeah,
There's a few stones I'd like to fix. Tablets have tipped over.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And we'll need
Big
hardback
hillside.
and that,
No, what I usually do to them is, like I was telling you before, if you don't have enough underground.
Yeah.
They tip over.
Okay.
What I do is I pour a 10-inch
Mhm.
concrete,
okay,
you set the tablet in it,
okay.
it just gives it mass at the bottom.
Oh,
top.
Sure,
You know, I put a piece of styrofoam under it, some frost comes under it.
okay,
That way it just doesn't tip over again.
got it,
Doesn't cost much. It just keeps them upright again.
okay. I mean,
I do
the
those as time permits.
Fairview definitely needs a lot of,
There's one in Hillside I
Yeah.
like to do.
yeah,
A lot of them are broke.
There's a
Okay.
few that,
yeah,
More positive, so we need something.
there's some that are too
Fairview
funky to
needs a lot,
fix.
yeah,
Hmm.
So what we used to do was just get a flush marker made,
okay,
place it.
okay,
So if you can find it, there's one in Fairview,
okay,
like hemlock, far end.
Yep.
It's laid on the ground in 3-4 pieces.
Mm.
That's a good candidate. You can figure out that information. Get Rich to do a marker.
okay.
That's what Mean House, the Hutchinson one is saying.
And same thing with like slate, ones that are really deteriorating, like how
Yeah,
do
you
we?
can figure out what's on them.
Can't even read them.
Slate deteriorates real fast.
Well, you can try a rubbing detergent.
Less
um,
you can do.
Because those are $500-600 a piece.
Yeah.
So you just,
that's
that's, the women's club is gonna give you a grant for those.
Okay,
It's something they got this spring.
well, that's also on my list to talk about grants, because we need to start figuring out,
They said they'd give me 3,000 every year.
really,
We'll hold off France to our next meeting.
sounds great.
As
The trouble
far
is
as
you gotta
the-
find a contractor. Because they gave me 3,500. He didn't show up, so the next
So you
year
have
they
to
said,
get-
well, we give you 3.
Hey, as far as the petition goes, I would rather be having signatures than in December or January.
Yeah, and they're due mid-January.
Yeah, give me those. I can get a
Well,
bunch of people.
We need to come up with how much we're going to increase and then get it formalized, with Miranda, so that she can.
Well, we'll have
Exactly.
How many signatures would be
to under
needed?
the 70. And that gives flexibility of us
If they're
inadvertently
duplicates.
having non-resident sign or unregistered,
Mhm.
so we don't have to.
And we used to be done by Thanksgiving.
So what would you suggest? You suggest 25 or less?
I'd go with 25.
I said, if we're gonna increase, we might as well go to 25, at least 5 extra to deal with all the tree removal or any other emergency.
Because we've been covering lawn costs, so I think.
Yeah.
If you figure that up, it's probably pretty close to that.
Yeah, 25 it is.
Yeah.
Where it covers everything else.
That's the figure I had in mind.
Of course it was.
Well, that's why I asked
Interest
Fred.
rate
I
balance
wanted
here,
to
too.
So we
get
need a motion?
consensus. of everybody.
Yes,
Big whoop.
someone wanna make the motion for
A
town
motion
appropriation?
to increase our appropriation amount by $5,000, bringing the total appropriation to $25,000.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Favor.
Unanimous.
Need some petitions printed up.
Well, we need to, step by step, sir. You have to type it up,
I
send it
can-
in, get
I
it.
can work on that. I have other sample petitions. already.
Perfect, thank you, Bonnie.
I just will have to call Judy to make sure that I have my dates. correct.
And then we can go to the dump or just bring it around town.
I'll probably go. with
Yeah.
I like hanging around. Don't-
I don't mind it.
Found a brand new pair of boots here the other day.
You were so happy it was your birthday and you're like, look at my birthday gift. I got
It's
new
not my
LL
birthday.
Bean
I found
boots.
two pair of boots that fit me perfect, brand new LL Bean boots.
Happy birthday.
And gave one to my wife and a pair to me. I said, oh, thank you, God.
So funny.
It was my birthday.
Um,
That was my birthday present. If
What,
you
you
don't.
49?
I'm
oh,
71.
sorry, to go back to the tree removal, I saw Mrs. Oh, whose headstone was it covering? Veteran
Oh, Billy Aldridge.
Aldridge. I saw Mrs. Aldridge, she was so happy. I'm like, well, thank PETA for doing a really respectful, nice job, it's clean. So her family's very, very appreciative. And,
Good.
and
I'm
then
sure they're not paying.
I'm sure, although there was a,
Don't let them plan another one.
well, I know, and so then there was another old time Norwich person that grew up here that's been gone for a while that came back and he's said, you know, it's nice to have trees in the cemetery. And I agree, trees in the cemetery can be very peaceful and nice, but not trees that are harming headstones or blocking headstones. And so I said that they needed to be removed because they were being disruptive or they were disturbing the headstones and whatnot. But, you know, and he's like, well, you know, these cemeteries should be a place for people to enjoy. And Ellen and I were talking, like, it should be, they're beautiful pieces. It's a beautiful pieces of property where people can just sit and relax and think about their loved ones or whatnot. And, but there's a time and a place for extra things like trees and shrubs. And so we need to be very clear on these next rules and regs of what is authorized, and if so, where it is authorized, so that we don't have more trees, you know, disturbing headstones and whatnot. Anyway, question, there is a headstone in the Union Village Cemetery where the wife, her husband is already there. Her son passed away suddenly last year, but he is buried in Washington State. But she was wondering if she could just have someone come in and write his name on the headstone with the father. He's not buried there. It's just kind of a in remembrance of her son to be connected with her husband. Are there any rules against like,
That sounds reasonable.
right? Yeah, I didn't think so. No, it's like on the back, it would just
Yeah,
be
yeah,
in
yeah.
loving memory of, okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought, but I didn't want to say it until I talked with you guys. Great. What else do we have?
Fred said he puts a gate up in the fall.
Mhm.
I can't remember, when you go by the shed, equipment shed, the green burials,
Mm,
is there any way they can get up there, Fred?
You can always walk, but you can't
Yeah.
drive.
So if they could,
Cause there's a chain from the shed across there.
there is,
It's locked. I keep that locked all the time.
be awful if somebody got up there spinning around.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy, I couldn't.
Anytime I'm working up there, if I open that gate by the shed, doesn't matter, 5 minutes, somebody's up there.
Wow.
It's amazing. I
Um,
must smell it, I got the chain down. or something, I don't know.
Sorry, Fred, talking about green burials. When Ellen and I were up at the Union Village a couple weeks ago, there is a big area where there are no headstones now. I don't know if lots have already been sold there. I don't know, but is there any reason why we couldn't have natural burials at Union Village? I know that there was a reason that we discussed, and I can't remember what it was. Is it the
Union
drainage?
Village, you never get water there,
Okay.
So
but the only, I don't know. You got all the bones from the slaughterhouse there.
Oh.
Well, that's
People,
part natural.
people, some, I know I was doing a cremation and the girl was there and she just flipped out.
Oh,
So I was thinking of something. Explain to her.
sure.
That's the only thing you might wanna keep in mind, that you dig a green barrel
It
there and
just
the mound
seems like
sits
such a
there.
perfect place. It's just so serene and, you know, and, I mean, again, reality check, natural burials with all the publicity and everything else and environmental concerns, it's a hot topic these days. And I think
It is,
we're
but
looking at a
it-
lot,
I'd
a
like
lot
to
of
walk slowly toward.
No, we're just, you know, we only have a finite amount of space in Hillside. What happens when we run out? Where are we, you know, we're just talking about alternatives of, okay, when we run out of there, can we move over to the left, or is there space in Union Village? I didn't know the answer.
Can we further develop Hillside?
Maybe
I thought
jump the
so.
road and go a row or two.
Okay,
I don't remember exactly where the drains
Yeah.
stop, but they're more than halfway across that square.
okay.
Because the pipe comes out by the shed.
Mhm.
And so you can go a row or two. And it seems you're doing it one at a time now.
Yep.
To avoid the service road.
Yep.
Because if you jump the road and do one row, you sell in advance, you gotta have a service road.
Mhm.
So you lose 20 feet. other thing at Hillside, you got Japanese knotweed,
Ugh, it's the worst.
so can you get some of the spray in the spring? Or it keeps getting bigger?
Yeah,
I don't think there's any way you can kill that stuff.
no, you
Yeah,
can,
they
but
can
it's,
spray
Well, you can control it a little.
That's the stuff beside the roads.
yeah, it's like, it looks like bamboo from a
Bamboo.
distance.
I
It's
don't know
awful.
how it got there.
I
We
don't
didn't
know,
have
but
any
it's shown
before.
up. on my
Honestly,
property.
You could even just have a root of it. It doesn't have to be the plant and it can re-root into the ground and then it just,
Seed though, there.
I don't know,
I
it's
think bird
everywhere.
droppings and all of that. Because I've never had it, and now I have.
The only dirt we've ever trucked in there was Fairview stone wall, and there's none at Fairview.
Who at your house could have blown up, train that goes by.
It could have come from anywhere, but it's driving me nuts.
A bird.
An endless battle.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's
Creepy
three, I
Charlie
think
is
it's these three
big.
spots over there.
Judy, do you have anything for the group? Thank you for being here. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Dan, anything for the group?
No.
Okay. Fred? Boo-hoo baby. Did you get a deer yet?
No.
Oh, go get a deer and then you can have some supper.
Well, I'm bringing your nephew out.
I know,
Saturday.
thank you. Thank
You got a
you.
place to hang a deer there?
Yeah, yeah.
You got pulley and sprayers?
We'll show you. We'll walk you through it.
Okay.
Fred, anything else? Okay. Ellen?
No, thank you, Fred.
Ms. Boney? Okay. Well,
I got something I want to say.
yes.
I wouldn't even known about that tree. Fred spoke to me a couple of months ago about a tree up there, and it escaped my mind. And then we met again.
Mhm.
And I took the time to go to Hobson Road, and
Mhm.
he was the one that actually found it.
Thank you.
Because you can't see it from either direction. You know, it's way up here, you got the stone wall.
Mhm.
Anyway, I just want to thank you.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah. I think we're gonna miss him.
More than we know.
Who's this guy?
Cemetery in the woods all looked good this year. Put the
Good.
Trees down,
Okay, good.
and the cleaner I put on 2 years ago on those, they still look good.
Great.
Went back to check on my family. Well, I wish I had the phone. The difference is amazing.
Really good. Good, good, good. Yeah, with the, that grant from the Women's Club, and we have all the equipment. I would love to do more community events to get more
Well, we
people out there
were
to,
Gonna do Fairview in spring, right?
Mhm.
I believe. Maybe we can talk to him about that headstone. Maybe you're concerned about it. It may
Judy-
be beyond that.
no, it's probably, but we'll see. If someone was to look at the maps of each of the cemeteries, if they go to the town hall and they say, I want to see the map of Hillside or Fairview, do we have something like that? Or is it worth trying to get a grant? I know we're gonna talk about it later, but to digitize so that we can have it somewhere in a database where you can zoom in and you can see exactly. Is it all on paper right now and people can take a look?
No, they
No. I would,
put a tour in.
it would be. I only ask also is because Jim Harlow stopped by and he's like, we really need to make sure that we know where all the veterans headstones are because he knows where they are.
Hmm.
I only know because there's a, bronze or there was a bronze marker. And I think that would be very valuable to make sure, that all of our cemeteries are mapped properly. Not that they're not mapped properly, but digitized so that if someone is looking for a relative, they can see exactly, but also where veterans are so that if markers are gone, we can go replace them easily and we know where they are. But that's a long process. It's a
Yeah, that's not part of
huge.
the map right now.
No.
Exactly. So he's asking how we can do it. And I'm like, Jim, give
It's
me,
gonna be a big project.
oh,
It's
that would,
gonna be-
it's huge.
Yeah.
Huge, huge, huge. But it needs to be done so that when Jim is no longer with us and that all that is up here, that it's written down somewhere so we can easily
Well, we
identify it.
elaborated when I was quite a bit, where if I knew a veteran died.
Yeah.
Because quite often we got the death certificates.
That-
I would let Earl know, Earl and I would go through.
Okay. That leads me to the next thing. Is there something on the, when someone calls to say, I'd like to bury my loved one, is there any way that you have on your checklist that there's a veteran so that we can mark when they are buried? Okay. Is that something we could add to a checklist? I don't know. I think it's important. Yes, but like what war? It could be Korean, Vietnam, OEF, OIF.
If things slow down a bit in the office, I don't mind going through. and-
I would love to sit down with you at some point and just so that we don't miss anybody, that everyone is.
The hardest one to discuss, I think, at this point would be Union Village. Because it's such a weird shape now.
Anyway, it was just, I
Well,
didn't know the
Hillside
answer.
It's big, but it's also a very fragile map that we have right
Yeah.
now.
Okay.
It's on an old curtain shade.
Yeah.
Curtain
I'm not kidding you.
No, it really is.
No, just for some reason, Comrie, I think it was Comrie, only did Hillside. No,
Okay.
New Boston didn't get flags this year, did it?
Oh, it should have. Bill McCormick should have done it. Well, that's not good.
who should have?
Bill McCormick usually takes care of that one. Well, anyway, sorry. I would love to sit down with you at some point just to see. When I'm, whatever, in the next couple of years, I'd love to be able to help digitize in some way, shape or form.
Yeah, I think it made my life easier in the office.
Then that would be,
Mm,
if we can make your job easier, then yeah. So, anyway, any last minute? Thanks, everybody. It is now 5:25 PM.
Make a move to adjourn.
Thank you. Any second?
Yeah,
Okay, all those in favor? Adjourned. Yay.
so be it.
So be it.